और सीधे हम आपको ले चलते हैं केंद्रीय मंत्री डॉक्टर जितेंद्र सिंह एक प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस को संबोधित कर रहे हैं।
Rank 11 to 4 now, when we move on to 3 and then 2, then finally to rank 1. The entire value addition to our economy is going to be from the sectors which were being explored, but not to the fullest extent. And the fullest extent of exploration will happen through technology means of scientific. B, through sectors which were hardly explored or almost unexplored, like the ocean, the Himalayas, the space. And therefore, these are now the, I think, areas that we are keenly looking forward to. And if we succeed, we may not even have to wait for 2047. Now, as far as the 4 presentations made over here, I will not be repetitive and go through all this, but some of the important features, because having closely worked with media and also partly in media, at the end of the day, I sometimes find one of the news friends asking, कि साहब ये सब तो हो गया लेकिन खबर क्या है? मतलब ये कि मैं तो कॉपी चढ़ा दूंगा, ऊपर ये चढ़ा दूंगी, तो एडिटर उसको फेंक देगा. So बताइए इसमें से खबर क्या है? So just for the benefit of the friends in the room, Khabar from the point of view of the Department of Science and Technologies, I think is the first time ever that any government has come forward with an initiative to support the private sector. You've heard of the private sector being asked to donate to government. Here, the government is donating a fund to accelerate the private sector participation, which is the Research Development Innovation Fund of rupees 1 lakh crore. I think unique of its kind. PSA would bear me out. You hardly find it even in other countries. But since we are opening up in a big way to a greater integration between the public and the private sector, so therefore, with all the sensitivity and consciousness, it was realized that we have to give them an initial push in the noble hope that then finally they would take over. So, and secondly is the other news of the year is the National Research Foundation, which has been keeping in mind the Indian ethos named Anusandhan. Again, this is also distinct because not many countries have this, some of them just US, Germany, but I can say that the model that we have adopted is better than all the other models because we took about 2 years to study each of the models, and then of course as the PSA rightly announced what are going to be the benefits of it. It's because general complaint was that most of the government funds were available to the first line institutions like IITs, etc., because the parameters were such. So that would be addressing one issue. Now this will lead to a greater democratization of research, democratization of the also science education. And B, it will also help us change our mindset from always looking at government for every support. So almost 50-60% of the resource in the National Research Foundation is going to be from the non-government sources. I will not say private sector because no two words mean the same. It would also be the charity trust, it will be philanthropy because that culture didn't exist hitherto in this country. So the non-government sources will take over gradually the growth story of this country. So that is going to be one. National Quantum Mission, of course, important because unlike in the past where we were entering into a new domain 10-15 years later than the other countries, like it happened in case of IT, we were very late. Now we are among the 3-4 elite nations in quantum mission. And at the same time, as he was mentioning, for the benefit of the common citizen, the students, beautiful programs like NITI, like National Initiative for Developing and Harnessing Innovation, and also with the whole of government approach, the DST department has also found its outreach in the universities and the lesser institutions, as I said, which were not getting the kind of funds that they often looked for, and they complained that the A degree, so-called A degree institutions got away with the bulk of funds. So you have the PERS program, which is also a unique one, the promotion of university research and scientific excellence, which is supporting universities, smaller education institutions across the country, also setting up incubators across. And very futuristically, the Vaibhav program, which somehow didn't find mention here, but this is an attempt to attract the Indian diaspora scientific scholars working abroad to come home, and we would facilitate projects for them couple them with some of their counterparts over here in some of the leading institutions. We recently, as the PSA was mentioned during the STIC, we also had a separate exclusive session with them. We already have, I think, 37 already in place. But there again, as I was saying yesterday also, science doesn't progress in isolation. We are part of a larger ecosystem where the culture and the social factors equally operate. So our advice now to the new entrants into the area who go abroad for upgradation is that you plan out when to come back. Because once you stay back for 10, 15 days, and even if you want to come back, the other extraneous factors don't allow you to come back. Like you've raised a family, you've raised children who've never been to India. So then the choice is either to be back here or to stay back with the family. So before the other factors take over, if you go there with a time plan, it's easier for you to make a return. And here we are trying to facilitate in whatever way possible